Hello everyone. So this is the third and the most important lecture of your topic, that is mathematics, physics and imaging for MRI. So in the previous two lectures we have seen about the mathematics part and the physics part. So this is about the imaging part, which is our major concern. So imaging for MRI. What are the different topics we'll be seeing? You'll be seeing about digital image, pixel, voxel, grayscale resolution, spatial resolution, geometrical image properties, and some clinical imaging terms. So these are the different topics which we'll be covering. So already you guys would have studied. No, you'll be studying digital image processing in your this semester, right? So in digital image processing, I'm sure you would have studied about all these things like pixel, voxel, intensity resolution. Grayscale resolution is basically your intensity resolution. Spatial resolution is how spatially, like in terms of your, so intensity resolution you will be doing it in terms of your pixel values, and in spatial resolution you will be changing the size of the image. You would have done that experiment in your digital image processing, I believe. And the geometrical image properties we'll be seeing, and some clinical imaging terms. So with this we'll wind up this basic introduction, and then next we'll move on to the main core concepts of your nuclear magnetic resonance. So first thing about digital image, pixel and voxel. So digital image is basically an array of numbers. This can be a rectangular array, so often it can be a square matrix also. So MRA, the size of a matrix is generally 256 cross 256. That is what the size is, and each number represents the brightness or the pixel value at the particular location. So the each element of your image is called a pixel, and then the image size is called a matrix, which has a row and a column. And then voxel is your volume element. Like when you take a MR image and then you try to make it as a 3D volumetric representation. So basically, when you try to create models from your MR image, you go for the 3D reconstruction of your MR images, like at different spatial resolution and at different angles you will get your MR image, and then you will combine all those 2D images and then create a 3D volume. So that volume element is called your voxel. So pixel size is usually indicated in millimeters, and that's about the first part. And next thing is grayscale resolution, which is basically your intensity resolution. So grayscale, brightness, contrast, everything is like more or less the same. And here you can see in MRI it is common to assign the pixel value as 4096, which is having values from 0 to 4095. So you would have seen all those things in your MATLAB programs, right? When you have a value of 256, you will have the values ranging from 0 to 255. So that is how we generally do the digital conversion in terms of numbers. So 4096 is basically a 12-bit image, so which is 2 power 12. So here when you talk about bit depth, so the fundamental unit is a bit which has two states, which is on and off state, and with a group of 8 bits there is 2 power 8 possibilities, so that is 256. In case of 2 power 12 you will get 4096 possible values, and in terms of 16 bits you will have 65536 values. So this 16 bit and all you will have done in your MATLAB, like unsigned and signed integer, u int 8, u int 16 and all you would have done. So this is basically about the grayscale resolution. Next thing is windowing. So windowing is selection of a range of pixel values. So this windowing technique and all you would have studied in your digital signal processing, right? So you will have studied Hanning window, Hamming window, and so many different windows you would have studied. So all these things are nothing but we are basically trying to look at a particular part of your signal or a image, right? So that is what is windowing. So it does not affect your stored data, but then it retains the resolution of your original image. So here you can have two terms, one is window width, another one is window level. So here if you look at the picture, the actual saved pixel value is 0 to 4095, which is 4096 we have stored it as 0 to 4095. And if you look at the window width, you can see it is from 0 to 255. So only we are taking a part of your original pixels and then you are just displaying it. So that is what the window level is. Next thing is spatial resolution. So spatial resolution is how far you can distinguish two closely related objects. That is what is your spatial resolution. So spatial resolution, it depends on the performance of the system, basically on the effect of noise and also the matrix size and the field of view. So all these things are very important when we are looking at an MRI image. I'll explain it in very detail in the next picture. So in the figure, if you look at, you have highest spatial resolution only when you have certain conditions. So we'll discuss that the next slide. So basically, increasing the matrix size and interpolating new pixel values does not increase the spatial resolution, but it can improve the appearance of the image. Like when you add more values to your image, it doesn't increase the spatial resolution. That is one thing we should always remember. So if you look at the picture, we are trying to relate between field of view, matrix size and spatial resolution. So what is field of view? You would have studied this in your microscopy lab, I believe. So field of view is any particular region where we are trying to look at in an image. So for example, if you are looking at chest MRI, so in that case, if you are trying to look at the heart or the walls inside the heart, in that case your field of view is restricted to heart. You are not looking at lungs or stomach or any other parts of the body. So the field of view will be confined to heart. So you will be focusing your imaging plane to heart. So heart will be imaged at different angles and at different resolutions. So that is how we restrict our field of view. So matrix size is basically the size of your image which we usually set. If you want a high resolution image, you set the pixel values accordingly. If you want a medium resolution, then you set the image size accordingly. So basically images which we obtain from the medical imaging systems, we follow the DICOM standard and PACS, right? So in DICOM standard you will have different pixel resolutions for your image. So those images will be very larger in size, and storage will be very heavy. Storage will be required for saving all those images. So that is one thing. And next thing is spatial resolution. So spatial resolution is again when you have a very small brain tumor inside the brain, and if you want to look at the tumor's boundaries, like the edge of the tumor has to be very clear. So that particular point where we can differentiate the tumor and the normal brain, that is what is your spatial resolution. So if you look at the first figure, you have a circle and then there is a matrix. And if you look at the second figure, there also you have the same circle, but you can see the number of rows and columns have increased in your figure B. What does it mean actually? Which means that A and B has the same field of view. So the field of view is same. So you have a box over your circle, and in B also you have a box over your circle. So the circle is your organ. For instance, let's say it's a brain. So if you are looking at the brain, the field of view is your square box which we place over the brain. So here what happens is the matrix B has higher spatial resolution. Why it has higher spatial resolution? If you look at A, the boxes are big when compared to B. So the small boxes have higher number of pixels. So you would have seen about the pixel resolution in your phone camera, right? So when you have a higher pixel resolution, for example 13 megapixel camera and 15 megapixel, 16 megapixel camera, so all those things will have a higher pixel resolution, right? So you'll have a clear cut picture when your resolution is high. So that is why figure B has higher resolution when compared to figure A, even though the two have the same field of view. So that is about field of view and the resolution. Next thing is matrix size and the spatial resolution. If you look at figure C and figure D, Again you have the same circle, but the box size is varied. So figure C has a bigger box and figure D has a smaller box, but it has the same number of rows and columns. So what does it mean here? C and have has the same matrix size. So the matrix size is same for C and D, but the smaller field of view in D has higher spatial resolution because we are confining the region to only brain, not the area surrounding the brain. That is, the circular object is only focused in figure D. So that is why we have higher spatial resolution in your figure D. So this is very important when you are imaging using an MRI system. Next is about geometrical image property. So basically we are talking about only one property here, that is image non-uniformity or inhomogeneity. That is, it has a difference in intensity of an image. So same image will have variations in terms of its gray level. That is what we mean by image non-uniformity. For example, if you look at the chest X-ray chest MRI, thoracic MRI, you will have lungs, you will have sternum, rib cage, and then you have heart, and then you have gastrointestinal system and all those things, right? So basically you are looking at different materials and with different properties. So there will not be a uniform gray level distribution throughout the image, right? So that is one kind of image inhomogeneity. When you look at different objects with the different gray levels, obviously there will be an inhomogeneity. That is, inhomogeneity means it is not uniform throughout the image. That is what we mean by that. So spatial distortion affects the geometry of the image. So for example, if you, let's say you are taking a selfie in your camera, when you keep the camera straight to your face will look different. When you keep the camera down, your face will look enlarged. When you keep the camera up over your head, your face will look small. It's the same object, but you are looking at different angles, the object is looking at different dimensions, right? So the size and the location and the position of the object is changing when you are actually trying to take a selfie at different angles. So the same thing applies to MRI also. So spatial distortion affects the geometry. There is a straight line may appear as a bent at a different angle. So a straight line will appear as a curved line when you are actually imaging at a different angle. So the grayscale effect arise when we have different gray values in the image. For example, here you have figure A and figure B. So figure A has a black background with three different objects. Figure B has a noisy background with three different objects. What does it mean here? So we are trying to calculate the signal to noise ratio for these two different images with the different amounts of noise. So figure A has less noise than the other image. So the circle has a noise of about SNR of about 14. So figure B has SNR of about 3. So which means that the first figure has less noise when compared to your figure 2. So you can see the gray level values are totally different in your figure B, because in figure A you have just a black background, which means that the pixel values will be 0. But when you look at figure B, it has you can see there is a texture pattern there. So in that it will have different gray level values, which causes changes in your image resolution. So that is very important when you are taking an MRI image. So we are moving to the last section of your imaging for MRI, which is the clinical imaging terms. So what are the different terms? So angiogram, which is an image that shows the blood vessel anterior posterior direction, that is from front to back. Axial images from top to bottom, that is superior to inferior. Coronal images, the plane that divides the anterior and posterior parts. And then craniocaudal direction is direction from head to toe. Isocenter is the 0 point of your three-dimensional coordinate system. So this isocenter will be changing for different types of MRI. If you are looking at brain MRI, then the isocenter will be different. If you are looking at thoracic MRI, the isocenter will be different. If you look at the lumbar MRI, then the isocenter will be different. So sagittal image is an image which divides the body into right and left sides. Transverse image is superior and inferior parts. So all these planes will be very all these planes are very important when you look at the MR image, like sagittal plane, axial plane, and transverse plane. So all these things are very important. So these three are the three important planes. So the first plane is your transverse plane, which divides the body into upper and lower parts. Second plane is your sagittal plane, which divides the body from side to side. And the third plane is your coronal plane, which divides the anterior and the posterior of the body. So the anterior is the front half, which is your front side of the body, and the posterior plane is your back side of the body. So these three planes we should remember for understanding the MRI system. So with this we are covered the basic concepts of your MRI systems. So from next lecture onwards we will move on to the details of your MR imaging. So you can refer this book. So yeah.